What's up? Hey guys, it's Ivan, and in this video, I want to give you a summary and review of the book Convert Every Click by Benji Rabhan. So here's the book. Um, so as usual in my other reviews slash summaries, I will start off by telling you about the author, then go through what the book is about and what it contains, roughly what it contains, and then I'll go into specific points about those particular points that I talked about, and then I'll end with my review and my thoughts on it as a whole, whether I recommend the book or not, and basically what I thought about it as I read. So let's begin. So Benji Rabhan is the author. So he's an expert in peak performance for medium to large size companies. He's the founder and CEO of Conversion Core, which he talks about a lot in the book, which works with companies to basically optimize them, right? Increase conversions, basic stuff like that. Um, so, here's something I pulled from his website, benjirabhan.com/bio. Basically, here's his kind of milestones. At age 13, he started his company. At age 30, he sold his company. At 26, he wrote this book. He's built an award-winning appointment innovations. He was recognized on the 2014 Inc. 500 list for a 3-year growth rate, etc., etc. Small stuff like that, or not small, but stuff like that. Check out his website if you want to learn a bit more. But he is known in the marketplace. So what is the book about? So the book provides several ideas and strategies for what he calls holistic conversion rate optimization, which basically means instead of focusing on the conversion rates for example, just your landing page or just your sales page, he focuses more on holistic optimization. So basically means focusing on the conversion rate of your entire business as a whole, not just of one page. And the reason for that is, here I have an example, you can decrease the conversions for your sign-in page, for your lead page, right? Landing page. You can decrease the conversion rate for that. However, you may actually end up getting more sales as a whole on your back end. And the reason how this can happen is because you'll be attracting more serious buyers, okay? So you'll optimize your site in a way that will help you attract more serious buyers. So that's the idea of holistic rate optimization. Basically, what Benji wants you to know is that if you think that you can increase conversion rates of your landing page and you think that that's going to affect your overall company and overall profits, that may not be the case. Okay, so you will need to test, and you actually may even need to decrease conversion at some point to increase your conversions as a whole. So that's kind of the book idea. Okay. So the book contains 15 chapters and 200 pages. Here I cover 1, 2, 3, 7 chapters here. Okay, so I'll give you kind of a brief summary, a more detailed look at these 7 chapters. The rest of them are really, I would say, more so leaning towards the common sense side. For example, he talks about funnels. He talks about what split testing is and why it's important, stuff like that. So here I picked out kind of the 3 biggest things that you could find value in, okay? So each chapter has information about a topic, and then it follows through with mistakes to avoid when doing this topic, all right? So let's start with the first one. So conversion-centric design and copywriting. That's 2 chapters. So his big focus is not on, right, like when I bought this book, Convert Every Click, I thought that he would give a ton of kind of advice on what specific things should I do to increase my conversions. What are kind of these universal things, right? Holistic approach. I thought, what kind of things could you do to increase your conversions, kind of absolutely speaking, right? Not objectively speaking, not relative, not subjectively speaking. So things like, if you add a red button over here on the right side, you're going to convert better. These are the types of things I was looking for, but he focuses on what he calls universal conversion logic, which is good. Basically, it's saying there's no specific concrete thing you can do to increase conversions, but what I will help you to do, what he says, is understand where the customer is coming from and why the customer thinks the way he does, or he or she does, in order to make that conversion, so that you can apply this kind of logic to your site, right? Because every site is different. So he talks about these 3 factors, obviously: credibility, relevance, value, right? You see a ton of these things, right? Every author is going to give you these 3 things that are important. So here they are for Benji. It's credibility, relevance, and value. So a few of the tips he says to increase conversions, kind of to summarize these 2 chapters. Keep the most important stuff above the fold. So you see a lot of websites where they have a new article printed, and it's so okay. first of all, above the fold, right? What is above the fold? It's when you first open a browser, when you first open a page, everything that you see on that page without scrolling is called above the fold. So what Benji is saying, and I agree with him, keep your above the fold page relevant, right? Keep it engaging to the audience. Don't write like don't have your most recent article that you posted on that page, because it's going to be a long article. People aren't going to know what your site is about. They're not going to want to read that thing. On the top, you need to find something that is going to engage the customer, right? So you see this on actually a ton of different sites. You go to teespring.com right now, go to apple.com right now. They have kind of this little navigation bar at the top. They have all these images right in the middle, right? They have a big image in the middle, and they have a headline there and some logo, right? That's the idea. Don't like none of those companies have their article or their FAQs on that page, because that's not important. That's not engaging. What you need to do is, it's kind of like an ad copy, like we discussed in the book. I think this was in the review on the 6 leads, right? The great leads, 6 ways to start any sales message. I'll put the link up above, where we said that the ad copy, like your hook, your lead, that's what's going to get the customer to read your offer. Like without an ad copy, you can't get the people to come in. So same thing here. Without a good above the fold, if people click on your site and they see that everything is uninteresting at the very top, they may leave. Right? So just like with a solid ad copy to get them to your site, you need to keep them on your site by having good information on the very front of the page. Okay, so that's the idea. So he's talking about, for design, to use color and contrast to make a difference. So he talks about how if you want to make specific elements stand out, like you don't necessarily need to use different colors all the time. You can use different contrasts. So you can use, a light website or a dark website, and then have your call to action be super light or super dark, whatever the opposite color scheme is. And he just gives some examples into that. Use eyelines for easier reading, basically just some borders, right? Like when you make websites, you probably automatically will have these. They're just like basic borders is what he talks about to separate different parts of your site. Treat each fold page like a separate page. So, right, above the fold, that's one page. As people scroll down all the way to hit kind of the second part, right, without seeing anything of the top of the fold, that's kind of your second page. So he's saying, treat each fold page like a separate page, so make your content specific to that, whichever you want to talk about on that fold page. And in regards to copywriting, he's talking about write to customers in a customer-centric approach. Don't, right, again, common mistake businesses do, and we do all the time, especially if you're just starting out in marketing. You want to talk about how good you are, right? And you want to list all your features, all your benefits, et cetera, et cetera. So what Benji talks about is, of course, talk about what the customer will get. And again, we saw this in our video on marketingexperiments.com, where I shared a cool link with you where there's a ton of different experiments and studies conducted to show you what converts better. And what they said is, write headlines that focus on what the customer is going to get. Don't say, sign up here and I'm going to give you, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, right? You're starting off by focusing on what you want. Focus should be on the customer. So say you will get this, or get XXX by doing this, right? Receive XXX by doing this, right? How would you like to get a free blah, 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 right? Rather than saying, sign up here, do this, go here, click here, okay? Because that's focusing on what you want. The other thing is he's talking about different messages. So some companies, they like to say send, right, on their email list, they will send an email on the 1st of the month, no matter what. So if you subscribed on the 2nd of the month, you will not see that message that was sent out the 1st of the month. So what Benji is saying is, kind of set up autoresponders. So again, this is something that we know now. With autoresponders, that's kind of what we're doing automatically. If you see my playlist on Get Response, where I show you how to create your autoresponders, all that stuff, that's basically it. That's basically what he talks about, is instead of doing what suits you, do what suits the customer. So instead of sending an email on the 1st of every month, send an email on the 1st day the customer subscribes, then the 5th day, then the 10th day, et cetera, right? Make it easier for the customer, okay? And then he talks about, try out, split as different messages for different customers, segment your customers into groups is what he recommends. So we kind of touched upon this again in our playlist on Get Response, where you want to tag your customers. So customers that opened this email, they're more action oriented. Whereas clients that opened this email about animals, they like animals. So send them, next time send them animal emails. So we talked about this in the get response. They have this system, automation workflow. Okay, so you can do this with automation workflow where you can separate people into different tags and then you can send them separate emails. Okay, you can do that. If you want to know how, again, check out the video on automation workflow and get response. Okay, so that's basically kind of his ideas here and some of his tips and suggestions. So the next thing he talks about is video. Okay, so some of the tips he shares about like in the video chapter, and of course he elaborates more and stuff like that in the book. But basically he says, one, don't limit yourself to one style of video. So me, I've always been doing videos with you, like videos sharing my computer, right? But and like doing what I do, right, with the mouse, et cetera, on YouTube. But here I'm doing a PowerPoint, right? So what he's saying is try out different methods. Now, I'm not trying out a different method. I'm just doing PowerPoint because it's easier for me to get my message across because I'm doing a review. But for your sales videos, don't only stick to, a video where you're doing a presentation. And a ton of the videos you see, a ton of sales videos you see online are ones where the people are speaking directly to you. So in my opinion, right, before I read this book, I'm thinking, hey, that's exactly what I should do every single time, right? But what Benji's saying, don't limit yourself to that. Try out different approaches. And I think he has a point because different niches will respond differently to different types of videos, right? I mean, I'm just guessing. Maybe people that are more into animations, maybe if you're targeting like an animation niche, they would probably like an animation video more, right? To see maybe how well you can actually do those animations, how valuable is your product to them, as opposed to you just speaking to them and saying things, right? That's the idea. Test out different ways to make videos. Use video testimonials, obviously. I mean, you may be used to regular written testimonials. He's saying split test video testimonials, see if they work better. Okay, so try that out, right? Try to add a live call to action button on your video, but at the very least, be sure to remind people to take an action. So again, something you may know, but if you can actually add a call to action to that video, like in the video itself, and you may see a ton of these YouTube commercials where people are saying, hey, blah, 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 I do this, 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 just click right here, right? And they have like this button on their video that says, click here, and you're taken there. So what Benji is saying is put that up, okay? See how that works for you. He also says that custom video thumbnails are known to perform about 9 percentage points, not percent, about 9 percentage points better than default thumbnails. So a thumbnail is, if you look on your right side of YouTube right now, a thumbnail is basically this picture, this image that is on the video, okay? So if you look at the right side, there's probably some recommended videos, some basic videos, et cetera, and to the right of that video is a description, what the video is about, and then to the left is a picture. That is a thumbnail. So when you have a video that is not on autoplay on your website, you'll have a like a play button on it, okay? And if you just leave, if you don't do anything, if you make a video, you upload it to YouTube or whatever other source you use to upload your videos, if you don't do anything to the thumbnail, it will be randomly generated. So for example, for this video, a randomly generated thumbnail could be what you're looking at right now. So right now, my face on the bottom right with all this, video conversion tips and strategies, that could be a defaultly generated thumbnail. So what you want to do, what Benji's saying, is create your own thumbnail. And again, if you look to the right, if you see my videos, those are thumbnails generated by me. Okay, so what Benji's saying, those perform better than ones without. 9 percentage points means, people signed up 25% of the time with default thumbnails as opposed to 34% of the time. So that's 9 percentage point difference, okay? The other thing he says is explain why the user should hit play to watch your video. So if you don't have autoplay on, or even if you do, just, right at the bottom, say, watch video to learn XXX, right? Or learn XXX by watching the video, right? Again, customer-centric. Find out, discover, learn, etc., how to do this by watching this video, right? So that's what he's saying kind of helps the conversion process. Last but not least, 4 chapters are devoted to these 4 things, to these 4 different website styles. So he talks about landing page website, standard website where you have your navigation bar, et cetera, at the top. You have your shopping cart sites and your mobile websites. So for the landing pages, he likes to stress the importance that focus, be aware of what geographic location your customers are coming from, because as we know, if you're doing marketing, if you are selling something to a customer, you want to kind of be in that customer's shoes, right? You want to make the environment comfortable for your customer. So wherever they're from, whatever language they speak, you want to mirror that, right? And I mean, one of the things you learn about is when learning about how to get people to like you is to mirror their gestures, right? So that tells you a little bit about the psychology that, hey, if you're similar to me, I like you. So the idea here is, if you're from a North American country, for example, you read from left to right. So make your website read from left to right. If you're more of a Middle Eastern country, say, if you speak Arabic, you read from right to left, right? So what Benji is saying is, make a website maybe that reads from right to left, or whatever it is, right? The point here is focus. Keep in mind the different cultures that are looking at your video and your site, and kind of make it easier for them, okay? That's the idea. Don't force landing pages to stand alone. Basically, don't just have a landing page and that's it. You know, after they sign up, say thank you, bye. Link it to a sales page, right? Again, going back to the idea of funnels, you never know if people are going to end up buying more products through upsells. Don't think of yourself as a customer. So again, customer-centric. Just because you think something is going to do well is not necessarily true that it will. Okay, you need to test and you need to split test to figure out what will work well. For standard websites, he says, make a simple and easy navigation. Don't have kind of a navigation that goes here, 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 here. Always have a goal in mind. Always have a clear, linear path from your customer to your product. Make it very easy. He talks about how, you know, in the past, people had to go into stores to buy websites, and if they took their cart, right, and again, this is going a bit on the next one, but when they have the physical cart in front of them, it's harder for them to leave the store, to just abandon the cart and go to another store. Not so with online marketing. It's easy to just click X and leave your page entirely and go somewhere else, okay? So he's saying make it super easy for the customer. Again, don't waste space above the fold. We discussed that already. Make it clear to the customer what your next step with a call to action. Make a call to action maybe on every page. So not necessarily, you know, have an actual button that says click here, but maybe on an image, if you have an image, say, you know, click on this image to go here. Or hyperlink, right? Parts of your text. So instead of actually, again, having a button on every single page, you could say, when you're writing something, hey, blah, blah, blah is a great product, click here to check it out. And you could hyperlink click here, and you could make that a call to action, okay? So shopping cart sites, he talks about, for this case, don't be creative. For shopping cart sites, basically where it's just a sales page. That's what a shopping cart site would be, basically just a sales page where you have different offers there, and people buy and shop and add to cart and then purchase it, right? So don't be creative at the cost of simplicity and tradition. He gave examples of how people are looking for like crazy shopping animations that people are not familiar with, and because of that, conversion rates went down. So make something really simple, something people are used to, right? Something people are used to when they go to like Amazon shopping or Walmart shopping, whatever. Kind of mirror that, because that's what people are used to. Don't make something out of the ordinary. People will be scared. People won't know what to do. They're going to leave, okay? He talks about adding associated products and upsells. And remember our funnel talks, it's important to have a sales funnel. That's exactly what it is. Stay focused and be specific of the goal, adding to cart and purchasing, okay? So always make sure in this site, again, you have the goal in mind, don't stay off topic. For mobile websites, so this book was published in 2013, stressing the importance of mobile websites. You can imagine that after 4 years, it's even more important and more necessary to have a mobile website, okay? You don't need a complicated one. Really, he says how on one website, he just added a logo and a phone number, and that was enough to increase conversions, because when people are on their phone and they scroll and, you know, they say best medical product ever, whatever, they click on it and they see the headline and they see what your company's about and there's a phone number there, they'll just call and they'll talk about everything over the phone, okay? So he talks about don't necessarily make it super complicated. Don't spend, you know, thousands of bucks making it. Just make it super simple. Try it out, right? Okay, and the other thing he says is, uh, don't forget that when we talk about mobile, it doesn't only include phones. So there's also tablets included in this as well, and there's different types of mobile phones. Okay, so if you're really up there, if you're a multi-million-dollar business, you may even want to consider creating a different website design for different mobile phones, right? For Apple, for Android, for what other styles of phones there are: Apple 7, Apple 6, Apple 5, whatever, right? I don't use Apple, I use Android, so not a big fan of Apple, to be honest. But don't quote me on all these different types. Okay, so um, that's for that part. So that's about it. So my review is, even though the book does have some good ideas, I would personally actually not recommend this for someone who's been doing affiliate marketing or online marketing for at least a few months or even a few weeks, just because most of the facts that he talks about, they're already known, they're already out there. So I learned most of the stuff myself, just after several weeks of online marketing. It's something that's there when you type in, what is online marketing, how do we do this? This is something that pops up as basic kind of information. Like, you need split testing. When you're learning online marketing, no one's going to not mention split testing. That is incredibly important. And this book has one chapter devoted to that, right? About funnels. He talks about how, don't make funnels that leak. One chapter in the book is devoted to that. So some of the things that are pretty straightforward, pretty common sense if you've been doing online marketing. The book doesn't really have any specific points. So as I mentioned earlier, I was like I did buy the book. I was looking for specific points, right? Red buttons are known to convert much better than yellow buttons on a black background, something like that, right? I was looking for specific points, but the book gets like the maximum amount of specificity it gets to is saying this may work, test it out, okay? And it's extremely frustrating because I already know that, right? I already know that I need to split test. If you've seen my other videos, like, we talk about a ton of stuff that we can split test, so we already know all this, okay? So I just think that with online marketing becoming more and more popular, the stuff that he wrote in the book 4 years ago is now everywhere online, and it's like the default, the basic knowledge. So that's why I think I didn't find as much value in the book. However, if you're a total beginner in online marketing, like this is probably your first video you're looking at or something like that, maybe check it out. I mean, like I said, it's definitely a good introduction, right? There's like, if I'm new, if I've never heard about split testing or funnels or stuff like that before, I definitely like to take a read and learn about it, right? That'll give you the default. But I've been doing this for 5 months now, and I really didn't learn anything new at all, right? But that is me. If you found something useful, especially in the summary, I kind of picked the points that I found the most kind of out there, things that are not as easy to find online. These are the points I included in my summary. But if you find things like, wow, astounding, super, super cool, right? You didn't know about this before, feel free to check the book out. It's only like $5 on Amazon. I think I bought it for like $5. Feel free to order it. I'll put my affiliate link down below for you at no extra cost to you. If you're interested, again, check it out. But me personally, for me, I really didn't find any value from this book. It's about 200 pages of stuff that I already knew, most of it, right? So that's about it. If you guys enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe. For those of you that have subscribed, thank you. I do appreciate it. If you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns, let me know down below. Let me know what you thought, if you read the book or you didn't read the book or you're about to get the book, etc., right? Share, let me know your thoughts, and I will see you guys in the next video.